They were rehearsing and getting changed in what's effectively now a corridor. And they knew the audience hadn't come only to see them, but to get their first glimpse of the new king. The Great Hall has been specially prepared for the performances. Although tapestries have had to be covered, the idea is to try to recreate at least some of the atmosphere of 400 years ago.
This is all about a statement of James's magnificence and cultural power. And one of the things we know, for example, is that the chandeliers, which we have above us tonight, would have been there in 1604. We know this because the audience in 1604 complained about hot wax dripping on their heads.
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
In Shakespeare's time, all the actors were men. In a departure from historical accuracy, this interpretation of Much Ado About Nothing has an all-female cast. Measure for Measure runs from Wednesday until next weekend. Philippa Young, BBC News, Hampton Court.
Coming up next on BBC World, Top Gear. Hello, welcome to a quick look at our world weather. Now, we have been seeing real problems with flooding across parts of Asia. Monsoon rains from the northeast of India and into Bangladesh. And over the next few days, these areas of cloud are going to bring some more torrential downpours. Also, there's been problems for eastern parts of China across into northern Japan. And we've still got a streak of cloud around an area of low pressure. The heaviest downpours for China will be through the central areas, and we've also got more wet weather across northern parts of Japan. In Europe, it's fine and dry through the Mediterranean, much of southern Europe enjoying some warm sunshine. But further north, there's still thundery showers and some really wet weather on the way for Denmark and also parts of Sweden. In the United States, it's looking rather unsettled in the northeast corner. Thundery showers pulling up from Washington, New York into New England and also affecting eastern parts of Canada. But for South America, it looks like we're going to see an area of low pressure bringing wet weather to Paraguay, southern Brazil, gradually throwing those showers up towards Rio. In Australia, though, it is an improving picture along the east coast. The area of low pressure, which brought the wet weather, blustery conditions and snow across the mountains, is now clearing away. So sunshine for that east coast.
Although we have encountered nothing but hospitality and friendliness from the Tajiks, this is still the border with Afghanistan. It is still a region troubled by extremism and violence.
Every weekday, Asia Today covers the stories, the issues behind the headlines and the people making the news with in-depth reports from more than 30 BBC correspondents across the region. Asia Today, here on BBC World. This week, we take a look back at the week's news from the BBC's network of over 250 global correspondents.
After India's momentous elections put a new government in office, join me, Karan Thapar, on Hard Talk India to understand the policies of the incoming administration and how it will tackle the challenges the country faces.
Talking Point is your opportunity to express your views on the issues that affect the world today. Put your comments to world leaders and newsmakers by telephone, email and SMS text message as Talking Point here on BBC World.
Press Press us for more information about your favourite programmes. Get your weekly BBC World e-newsletter. Visit bbcworld.com.
Everything the car fan needs to know about today's motoring industry now on BBC World with Jeremy Clarkson and Top Gear.
On today's show, a pink Ford, a black man's Cadillac, and I go berserk in a silver Arrow. Good evening and welcome to one of Top Gear's favourite cars. The Alfa Romeo 166. Been around a few years now, but unfortunately, you've never been able to buy one because it depreciates as fast as it accelerates. An Alfa 166 like this is a sign that you have exquisite taste. It shows the world that you put aesthetics above practicality and that you won't simply run with the pack. Put it like this, Alpha males buy BMWs. Alphas are for nice people. Unfortunately, if you buy a 166 for £29,900, in a year, it'll be worth £13,000. That's £17,000 gone. And that works out at £325 a week. That's nearly 50 quid a day. 50 quid a day in depreciation alone. The solution would be to buy one second-hand. But you can't do that because no one bought one new in the first place, because the depreciation was so bad. 166, they should have called it the Catch-22.
There's a new Fab One, and this time, manoeuvring it isn't going to be quite so easy.
From nose to tail, it's 27 feet long. That's the height of a 3-storey building.
Not only is this not a model, it's not even a Rolls-Royce. They were asked to design a car, but they were far too busy working on the new Phantom. So this is a Ford.
So it lacks absolute snob appeal, but it more than makes up for that in other ways.
That is the best combined roof and door opening action I've ever seen. Inside, there's room for just 2 people. Her ladyship reclines back here. Her faithful chauffeur, Parker, sits here. But the interior is fantastic. There's lashings of cream leather and chrome. And my favourite bit, some real shag pile. But the fixtures and fittings aren't the thing I like most about this car. What I really like is that it works.
In 5 seconds, my Formula 1 car can go from 0 to 200 kilometers per hour. Every 5 seconds, a child dies because of hunger. That's 720 children an hour, all day, every day. We can't stop time, but we can stop the dying. Food. There is no greater gift and no better way to give it. The World Food Programme.
You're going to be going on an expedition to the mountains. We want gold rock, the rock that actually holds the gold, OK? You have, as usual, 3 days.
You're a real agent of doom and gloom, aren't you?
The more we travelled, the more our ambitions grew. We wanted to move further. We needed to know more. We needed to move faster.
This is the supercharged Mercedes SL55. It's part rapier, part sledgehammer, all hairdryer. It's the best Mercedes could do, but still they went to McLaren and asked them to make it better. This is what... It's called the McLaren Mercedes SLR, and at first, it's hard to see the point. There was nothing to compare it to. And that, it has done it in 1 minute, 20 seconds, 0.9. It hasn't just been, you know. That's it for this programme. See you for more Top Gear next week on BBC World.
A little information, when shared, can go...
And Development Party. In 1974, Mr. Ecevit ordered the invasion of Cyprus following a coup there by right-wing Greek Cypriots. A reminder of the breaking news before we go this hour. Reports are coming in that at least 14 people have been killed in an accident in western Turkey when a train crashed into a minibus at a level crossing. You've been watching BBC World News.
Hello, the weather around the world in a minute. First, the major points. The monsoon rains are moving slowly westwards into Pakistan. The heat wave in Iberia continues, and there's some more decent rain to come in the Tennessee Valley. Now, this is what I mean by the monsoon rains going west. We should see them crossing back into Pakistan from the east. That'll happen on Tuesday, bringing welcome rain, we expect. Although you can't see it here, significant rain is likely in the Tennessee and then the Ohio valleys in the next couple of days. Otherwise, it's the eastern and southern states where it's most humid and most likely to be thundery. Typical summer weather in a good part of Europe with, of course, the excessive heat, as I mentioned, in Spain and Portugal. In South America, the winter's quietened a little bit, but again, from Santiago southwards, there's yet more significant rain and pretty strong winds by Tuesday. In Australia, the winter is bringing some useful rain, I suspect, for New South Wales and the Capital Territories over the next couple of days. Melbourne particularly affected. And in New Zealand, not so surprisingly, there'll be rain once again, spreading out from South Island to reach North Island, where it'll be more likely to be showers.
Is our world's weather getting out of control? Experts say climate change poses a bigger threat to the planet than terrorism. But can we change the weather forecast of tomorrow by the way we live today? Get the facts and find out what the risks are.
Who's next in the hot seat? Visit bbcworld.com Hard Talk.
In This Week, we take a look back at the week's news from the BBC's network of over 250 global correspondents.
I'm Michelle Hussein. Join me and Gavin Esler for Hard Talk Extra, where we'll be talking to the big names in the world of arts and entertainment. Fridays on BBC World.
I've covered 3 elections in America. I'll be here in Boston to bring you all the highlights of this convention. the analysis, the news, the opinion makers. We'll have a fresh take on an old tradition.
After India's momentous elections put a new government in office, join me, Karan Thapar, on Hard Talk India to understand the policies of the incoming administration and how it will tackle the challenges the country faces.
Talking Point is your opportunity to express your views on the issues that affect the world today. Put your comments to world leaders and newsmakers by telephone, email and SMS text message as Talking Point here on BBC World.
Press us for more information about your favourite programmes. Get your weekly BBC World e-newsletter. Visit bbcworld.com.
This is BBC World, revving up with Top Gear.
This is a big day for me because it's my first ever drive in a Dodge Charger and I'm a little bit nervous.
You see, I've wanted one of these forever. But what if it's rubbish? What if it's a case of never meet your heroes? Well, we'll find out. But first, a smidgen of history.
There's just no resisting it.
The Charger was the definitive 60s American muscle car. Over 300,000 were made. The Lone Ranger was the chief salesman.
I apprehended this man driving away with one of our new Dodge Chargers.
Even though it was as big as Texas, somehow they managed to race it. In fact, the Charger was the first car ever to top 200 miles an hour in NASCAR racing.
This is a 1968 Dodge Charger 440 RT. It's the one you want. And this is the sound of a 440 cubic inch V8. That means 7.2 litres, 365 brake horsepower, and it's incredible.
Aspires to be the best his or her country has to offer, and ends up representing the best humanity has to offer. That's the strength I find in the Olympic Games.
On Talking Movies. I'm in the car. Ethan Hawke, one of the stars of the indie hit Before Sunset, and Matt Damon as Jason Bourne in The Bourne Supremacy.
On Click Online this week, the history of computing. How far have we come? How far can we go with the ever-shrinking chip? That's only on Click Online.
Right. Now, Rolls-Royce have said that they will never build a convertible version of their Phantom. So here it is. This is a unique one-off car. It's called the 100EX, and it is magnificent. Just look at the size of it. Rolls-Royce actually say it's supposed to look like a sort of posh motorboat in motion, and it kind of does. And it's even got teak decking here at the back.
A man from the Vaterland delivered the car to us in a BMW T-shirt, and he was very strict. He said to me, "Das bonnet is nicht fingerpoken," because it's made of a single piece of machined aluminium. This, though, is solid silver. How about that? But what I really like about this is the normal Nancy Boy V12 that you get in these things has been replaced by a V16 engine, and it's there purely for smoothness. I like that. I like this.
Rolls-Royce, he's got a bit of a drift on there, and across the line in. You might not believe this. 1 minute.
Is 1 minute 22.3 is what the Ferrari did?
Yeah, 1 minute 22.3. It's exactly the same.
And next week, we've got this thing's big brother coming down, the Carrera GT. I cannot wait for that. See you then. Good night.
It could have a long-term effect on the tourist business. John Lawrenson, BBC News, Brittany.
A reminder now of the main news. A series of explosions outside churches in Iraq has killed at least 3 people and injured many more. At least 2 of the attacks happened while worshippers were attending Sunday Mass. It's the first time Iraq's small Christian minority has been targeted. That's our news bulletin. Next on BBC World, Top Gear.
Hello, we've just got time for a brief summary of the world weather this time. So let's start with Australia, where things have been fairly calm, but we are seeing some windier conditions now developing across the south, with some showers coming and going too, and quite cool, I think, where those showers come along. For New Zealand, it's been fine and settled. We've had high pressure in charge, but there will be some changes. Expect some more wind and rain to return by about midweek.
It could have a long-term effect on the tourist business. John Lawrenson, BBC News, Brittany.
A reminder now of the main news. A series of explosions outside churches in Iraq has killed at least 3 people and injured many more. At least 2 of the attacks happened while worshippers were attending Sunday Mass. It's the first time Iraq's small Christian minority has been targeted. That's our news bulletin. Next on BBC World, Top Gear.
Hello, we've just got time for a brief summary of the world weather this time. So let's start with Australia, where things have been fairly calm, but we are seeing some windier conditions now developing across the south, with some showers coming and going too, and quite cool, I think, where those showers come along. For New Zealand, it's been fine and settled. We've had high pressure in charge, but there will be some changes. Expect some more wind and rain to return by about midweek. Now, wind and rain has been the real story further north into Eastern Asia. We've had a tropical storm here. It moved through Japan to bring some huge downpours. It's now dying a death, that system, over the Sea of Japan. So the winds continuing to ease, although there will still be some heavy rain at times for parts of Korea and Japan. Let's hop across the Pacific now, head towards North America, where we've got quite a few thunderstorms going on across the plains, down towards the south, and across eastern areas as well. I think the east perhaps still a focus for some thunderstorms as we head into Monday. As for South America, you'll likely see a few showers and thunderstorms across the north, and that's not too unusual, with some wetter and windier conditions further south. It could be quite wet at times across South Africa, further northern Africa, hot and dry weather, and it's been fine and sunny in Europe, although the thunderstorms, I think, will become more widespread next week.
And we'll be reporting from Poland on BBC World as Warsaw commemorates the 60th anniversary of one of the most heroic events of the Second World War and one of the most tragic.
Ingeniously, you just use a bottle, cut it up, turn it into a tumbler and a wine glass, and it's a fantastic recycling idea, and it solves a lot of waste problems with glass.
At the age of just 14, she was thrust onto the international stage. And for the first time in history, Britain was to have its own prima ballerina.
If she has had to make sacrifices, they've been worthwhile for her.
The tens of thousands of victims of local corruption flooding to Beijing to seek justice. Join me, Louisa Lim, for a special report on BBC World.
Asia Business Report brings you the latest business and markets news live from Singapore and looks ahead to the stories that will shape the business day.
Press us for more information about your favourite programmes. Get your weekly BBC World e-newsletter. Visit bbcworld.com.
This is BBC World, revving up with Top Gear.
Good evening and welcome to the Audi A8. Now this one has a twin turbocharged V8 diesel engine. Does 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. And that's brilliant. But surely the whole point of a diesel engine is fuel economy. So I thought I'd set myself a bit of a challenge. See if I could drive this enormous car from London to Edinburgh on a single tank of fuel. Now who thinks that's possible?
Now, Kathy, you're going to go to the beach. Oh, nice. Yeah, well, it's not going to be exactly a holiday. You're going to be trying to find gold from the sand on the beach.
I've lived in London all my adult life, but as a child, coming up to London was a big event. I've now got a small family, So I thought, 35 years on, does London still have what it takes?
Show, I was attempting to get from London to Edinburgh and then back to London again in a V8 twin-turbo Audi diesel. We left the action in Edinburgh with the trip computer saying I was going to run out, because I'm going to do it in a single tank, I was going to run out 60 miles north of London. Now you're probably thinking Britain fights back. We've got this Rover coming. How about that? We will be driving it around the track. We'll see you then. Good night.
A little information.
This is the Sudan the world sees. What are the horrors these people have fled? Darfur's real nightmare has been hidden. Is the first genocide of the 21st century happening now, as we stand by?
On Middle East Business Report, we'll be reporting on the end of an era for an Iranian icon, the Paykan car, here on BBC World.
As the extraordinary situation here in Ukraine continues to unfold, join me, Damien Grammaticus, bringing you the latest from Kiev on the battle of wills over who will be this country's next president.
Hello again, the headlines. Deadlock in Ukraine. Protests continue over the disputed presidential election. The crisis is expected to overshadow a summit between the EU and Russia. England's cricket tour to Zimbabwe goes ahead after a ban on journalists is dropped. You're watching BBC World. Now it's time for Dream Spaces. Do stay with us.